Hi, I'm Glenn Garvin, Chief Servant Officer, Life Center Church. Glad to have you with us. We're going into a brand new series on friends. And I just want to let you know, it's interesting. The things that I have discovered about what's going on out there in the world with friendships and people and relationships, I'm telling you, it's crazy right now. We are in trouble, every one of us. On a few weeks ago, May 3rd, the Surgeon General announced we're in an epidemic of loneliness and isolation. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make it funny. It's just like, how did we get here? Some are even calling it the friend recession. Now, it may have been worse. You know, the whole thing about financial recession may have been far worse on us. But he even went further. He said, you know, loneliness is as deadly as smoking. What? A new report finds a lack of connection is actually killing us. Loneliness is this is what he said, Surgeon General. Loneliness is far more than just a bad feeling. It harms both individual and societal health. It is associated with a greater risk of cardiovascular disease, dementia, stroke, depression, anxiety, and premature death. Loneliness is a killer. The mortality impact of being socially disconnected, he said, is similar to that caused by smoking up to 15 cigarettes a day, and even greater than an association with obesity and physical inactivity. It's like, whoa, wow, that is extremely dangerous. So we may have avoided quick death by COVID, but you know, we've isolated ourselves away to our own slow demise. And we know we are in trouble because women report having more challenging times of being friends and getting friends than even men. The numbers have significantly dropped over the years. Higher numbers on the left of this chart are a percentage of fewer friends. A percent of those who have no friends, it increased from 3 to 12%, as you see on this chart. And you know, get this, until you get to like 5 or more friends, then it tells us that about a third of us, 33%, used to have 10 or more friends, but now only 13% of us can even say that we have 10 or more friends. So our friendships are getting smaller groups, if at all. Some of us have no friends. Some of us have few friends. So it is just a phenomenon right now that is unbelievable. It is not just not good when we're alone. It's not just not good. We are not good when we are alone. We get worse. We get worse when we hide from God and hide from others. The paradoxical ache to be unseen yet known is exhausting. Friendship is a deeply beautiful and a troublesome journey. Well, we need some help from friendship experts. I think the wisest people are observers of others and not people pleasers. The wisest are people observers, not people pleasers. Thankfully, God gave us a book, a manuscript on wisdom, and it turns out that the friendship theme is huge. Solomon and his advisors were wise in knowledge and understanding of God and of those and how God created us. We are body, soul, and spirit. In body, we are what we eat, right? That's why I look like a burrito. Okay. In soul and spirit, we are the company we keep. We can be friends of and with God, and we should have friends for our own health and well-being in our physical body, our soul, and our spirit. Friendship is life. You know, here's some phrases I picked up, right? A friend will give you a lift, but a good friend will do an airport run, right? A friend may water your plants while you're out, but a good friend will watch your kids. You can call a friend when you're in a jam, but you have to call a good friend when you're in jail. And the last one, I know this is kind of morbid. A friend will help you move, but a good friend will help you move a body. I get that. I've only killed people in my heart, not in real life. Secular doctors even rave about the benefits of friendship, and that's why we're talking about it. In my notes, I refer to webmd.com, and they say this: if you've ever had a friend that you could laugh and cry and share your most intimate secrets with, then you know how powerful friendship can be. It's having someone in your life that can lift you up. And when you're low, celebrate or when you're low, celebrate your victories with you. You know what I'm talking about. I'm quoting this from the WebMD. Friendships can have a major impact on your health and well-being, and it's not always easy to build or maintain them. That's what they said. The Mayo Clinic even lists basic how-tos to make and maintain healthy friendships. It's in my notes. And it seems simple, but we're having a harder time doing these things. Things like being kind or being a good listener or being able to open up, to be able to show that you can be trusted, making yourself available. And the last one I thought was really interesting, managing your nerves with mindfulness. In other words, sometimes friendship means you have to overcome things in your own heart and mind to be able to build a friendship. Now, since I'm a pastor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a behavioral scientist, I am going to give you God's perspective on why friendships are important. To do that, we're going to go skipping through Proverbs together, and we're going to pick up some godly advice. Right? This is right. These 6 points are right out of Proverbs. Friends are critical and helpful in supporting us, shaping us, and setting us up for success. And so here are our 6 very simple but effective verses to remind us of what is available in great relationships, great friendships. Friendships are like essential oils for our soul. They're aromatic and medicinal. And get this is a great proverb right here. Sweet friendships refresh the soul and awaken our hearts with joy. For good friends are like the anointing oil that yields the fragrant intense of God's presence. That's in Proverbs 27:9. Now these passages I'm reading to you, they are out of the Passion Translation. So if you look these up, you're going to have to look up those in the Passion Translation. I looked up even the other versions and translations, and they're spot on. It's just they're said in much easier to understand ways. Now, essential oils, they're all the rage. If you talk to someone who knows what they're doing, these are amazingly helpful to bring health and de-stress our bodies. I have some favorites. I've been recommended. Some friends recommended some oils for me, and things like peppermint in some cases, or I don't remember what some of them others, but they've been super helpful. Putting it on my temples or places. I mean, it's like, oh, the aroma and what they do are amazing. Second one about friendship. Friendships are like boomerangs and super glue. They just keep showing up and sticking around. Here's another proverb. A dear friend will love you no matter what, and a family sticks together through all kinds of trouble. That's in Proverbs 17:17. One commentator writes this. He said, it can be translated that a friend loves, but in adversity, he is born or becomes a brother. You see the difference? Adversity actually can produce a friend that behaves like a brother. Either way, true friends, rich in grace and mercy and patience, are sometimes the only ones that show up when everyone else leaves. I don't want to let you know, when my friends go through devastating times of failure and everything in their life seems to blow up, that is the moment I want to be there. I'm a minister, I'm a pastor, I have a lot of pastor friends. Not all of them have done well. There have been things that have blown up in their lives. And I want to tell you, I make it a point to be there with them when things have gone wrong. I don't believe that's the time to pull away. I don't believe it's the time to treat them like the plague or label them with some big letter A if that's what has happened. As a true friend, I think we should rush towards them and not run away. Just for your information here, in the same scene where Peter denies Christ, we discover that John the Beloved did not. And in fact, it was John who opened the door for Peter to be able to come in and witness the mock trial of Jesus. You'll find that in John 18:15 through 16. So Peter denied Christ, but John didn't. John stayed true even when Jesus was going through the most difficult times in his life. So I find that incredibly encouraging. Number 3, friends are better than AI or GPT. Okay, you can look that up if you don't know what it is. Everybody's talking about it, AI or Chat GPT. Why? Because your friends are investors. Your friends are not MLMs. They're not multi-level marketers, right? And this verse out of Proverbs. It's a twofer. In other words, there's 2 verses in here, and they go together. And here it is. Your plans will fall apart right in front of you if you fail to get good advice. But if you first seek out multiple counselors, you'll watch, your plans will succeed. Everyone enjoys giving great advice, but how delightful it is to say the right thing at the right time. This is Proverbs 15:22 through 23. True friends aren't just using you to get ahead. True friends, they are opening doors of opportunity for you to succeed, and they are willing to not only share their advice in a timely manner, they're willing to risk their own reputation by sharing their network of friends with you. I do this all the time. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends that are they do some cool things, and when I know that a friend has got something that they need, I will lend my network. I will lend my friends to them to help them out. People have done that for me. People have opened doors of opportunity for me, and I have never forgotten that. I have had friends that have helped get my children, now adults, jobs and opened the door for them. And I am so thankful for that as well. Do you want someone to look out for you? Do you want someone to have your back? Help promote your growth? If this is what you want, then what you need are true, deep friendships, because that's what friends can give you. One commentator went further to suggest that this kind of wisdom among friends is infectious. And he said that because he said, when you are doing this kind of friendship, when you are not just, you're going in to help, you're also speaking the words at the right time. This affects even national leaders, he says. This friendship becomes very infectious, and it goes all the way to the top of companies, top of churches, top of national countries as well. Number 4, friends, they are all-stars on our team. Number 4, they're all-stars. Friends are all-stars on our team. In other words, they win with you, not against you. And this is what I love about this verse here. If you want to grow in wisdom, spend time with the wise. Walk with the wicked, and you'll eventually become just like them. Proverbs 13:20. We are inevitably a version of the friends we keep. Cambridge Bible says this: walk with wise men and be wise, walk with fools and be broken. When you choose your friends well, you join a team of people who not only begin to sound alike, and maybe even begin to look alike. I know this happens a lot of times both with men and women. They begin to sound and look alike. But here is the point. When you become friends like that and you're around great people, you all share the destination. Yes, who you are, it greatly affects your destination. Who you're with does, all right? So I want to let you know I've got a friend of mine that I had met, not a close friend. His name is El. El is a national speaker and advocate for children in foster care. And a few years back, he was sitting across from me at a table at Mi Casa, my favorite Mexican food restaurant in Lakewood. Anyways, I was asking him all about his life, and I found out that he was a pastor's kid and that he had grown up in Los Angeles. So I began to ask him. And then he had some really rough things happen. And I asked him, I said, hey, you know what? I asked him about being raised in a pastor's home and the church, and then finding himself in prison. And I asked this, what do you think about from when you compare where you came from to where you ended up? What do you think about when you think about where you came from, pastor's home, being raised in church, and now he was in prison for a while? What do you think about that? First of all, I want to let you know about El's life. It was filled with abuse and abandonment from his own family, and the church did not help matters at all. He was shipped off to an aunt in Oregon, and when she suddenly died, he was kind of, him and his siblings were lost and broken. And he was, as a teenager, left to fend for himself. His family here in Los Angeles didn't want him, and foster care in Oregon was brutal. Now, El is a big guy. El is a huge guy. He raised up out of his seat when I asked him this question. It's like, hey, what'd you think with, you were raised as a pastor's kid, and then you were raised in the church, and now you find yourself in prison. What was that like? And he raised up out of his seat, and he leaned far across the table so that he was only a foot away from my face. He was angry. He was irritated. I could tell he was upset. And he said this to me. I ended up exactly where everyone expected a young black man to be, in prison. Man, it hit me. It hit me hard. As a young man, El had found a home and found a family with a gang, and the rest of that was just a stereotypical story. The miracle, however, is that God found him, God saved him, God redeemed him, and he got out of jail. He put himself through college, and he connected with one of the most prestigious speakers bureaus in the United States. He posted this last week, this picture that I'm going to put up right now. I want to remind you, you become the people you hang out with. So when we are choosing friends, when we are making friends, one, I think it's incredible that we do this. We have these kind of friends, but I want to let you know the right ones are going to be incredibly healthy and good for you. Number 5, about friends, they are a good mirror and not a TikTok filter. In other words, they're truth tellers, right? This is what it says out of Proverbs. You can trust a friend who wounds you with his honesty, but your enemy's pretended flattery comes with insincerity. Wow, that is so amazing. Proverbs 27:6 says that. 21:6. A great friend is a fantastic friend, and they are more than just someone who tells you that you've got spinach on your teeth, right? They're more than just, hey, you got something right there, right? They tell you things that are in our blind spots. No one else will tell us because they are worried. Maybe they'll worry they'll lose the friendship or lose the benefits that you might provide or I might provide for them. A great friend in all truth and grace will tell us the truth. And the truth will help us adjust what's called our own self-awareness to make us better. Come on, who doesn't want a friend like that? And I would say we should welcome these wounds that might smart because they will make us smarter. They will hurt, but eventually it will hurt in a way that is helpful. I just had a friend do this to me, and it was for me, not against me. The question is this. When a friend does this and tells me the truth, just had a lunch, and he shared a couple things with me, and it was right on. And the question is this: am I secure enough to receive the help that I desperately need? Am I secure enough in me? Am I secure enough individual? But also, is my friendship with him secure enough that he can tell me things that I do not see? If I am going to grow and leave behind some dysfunctional thinking or some codependent behaviors that hang around in my life, I better have great friends that are willing to send these kind of love messages my way. And that's what he was able to do. Psalm 141:5 says, "Let the godly strike me, it will be a kindness. If they correct me, it is soothing medicine. Don't let me refuse it." Isn't that powerful? Of course it is. It hurt. Of course it hurts because we need to change. But who better than great friends who love us and will stick with us and do so much for us? That is the kind of person I want speaking into my life and letting me know where I have blind spots. Notice, the wisdom writers warn of what the ESV, the ESV translation, says profuse kisses of an enemy. And that's the other part of it, is that the enemy has this fake thing going on where they just are just coming up and complimenting you and telling you the best. Man, it makes me nervous when people do that. And the wisdom writers in that proverb talk about this, the profuse kisses of an enemy. Oddly enough, the Hebrew word here for deceitful of what they are, they're being deceitful, is athar, which means to be abundant or multiplied. The Proverbs is telling us it's the non-friend, it's the enemy that does these profuse kisses. They do this over and above, complimentary, thick with, like, oh, you're the best and everybody loves you, and it just feels icky. These are the ones that Proverbs says, don't listen to that. Don't listen to it. Because those kisses are just being deceitful. They are being abundant or multiplied. Because, I don't know, maybe they want something out of you, or maybe it's just, they're just being evil. I don't know. It reminds me of Judas's betrayal kiss he gave Jesus in the garden. And that just is icky. Number 6, last one here. Great friends, they help keep our edge. Because everybody knows who has a knife, pocket knife for sure, or a cutting knife. Maybe you're a cook or chef. I don't know what it would be. But everybody knows who loves knives and has knives. A dull blade is a dangerous blade. This proverb talks about friends that help us keep our edge. And it says this: it takes a grinding wheel to sharpen a blade. And so one person sharpens the character of another. Proverbs 27:17. Proverbs is not suggesting our friends are tools. That's not what it's saying. However, a great friend knows how to keep our countenance keen. That's it. Our countenance keen. Isn't it interesting? The Hebrew word for sharpen is shadad, and it means to keep sharp, but it really means to keep keenly aware in character. Keenly aware in character. One translation writes, iron sharpeth iron, so a man sharpeth the countenance of his friend. That is getting much closer to what is really being said in this proverb. Because the literal translation of the Hebrew word for character or countenance is face. So it really reads, iron is sharpened by iron, and a man sharpens the face, which is his countenance of his friend. The face of his friend. Well, we're just beginning talking about what friends are for. What are friends for? Oh, so many things. So many. Let me ask you a question. What would you say friends are good for in your life? I would love to hear it. I would love to hear the things that you tell me. I would love to hear the things that you think. You can write me. You can get a hold of me, Glenn@lifecenterchurch.com, however you want to do it. What would you say your friends are good for, or friends in general are good for? I think friends are amazing. I think friends give me joy, camaraderie, accountability, investment, and community. I believe that my friends are natural antidepressants. I believe that they are a natural prescription to loneliness, and they are a natural management for my unrealistic expectations that I put on life and others. This is what friends do in my life. So, friends can inflate us when we're feeling flat, and they have the ability to deflate us when we're feeling snobbish. they can they can help kind of put air back in our balloon, or if it gets kind of out of control and we got like this massive arrogant thing going on, they can help deflate a little bit and let a little bit of that air out. Good friends, great friends will do both. Even though I was born and raised in a chaotic family, I was highly imaginative, and I was a voracious reader, and shockingly, I was a loyal friend maker. I have a really close friend from the second grade from Grant Elementary School in Long Beach. We've been friends for over 55 years. And even though I was socially delayed and awkward, and I felt invisible most of the time, I felt like everybody knew that I was an adopted kid, and I came from a divorced home, and I came from a blended family now, and I felt like everybody knew that my dad was an alcoholic. I don't think anybody really knew all of those, but I thought I was wearing bright colored shirts that just broadcast the mess that my family had been. But through all of that, I still somehow managed to make and keep friends. I can't say that it was easy, but I worked at it. I celebrate my friends, and I thank God for how much they have helped me, challenged me, encouraged me, especially those who became brothers and sisters in Christ when I became a follower of Jesus. So I am such a huge fan of friends. I just want you to know, if we are going to beat this, if we're going to beat this whole friendship recession, then I believe we need to start getting back to practicing making friends. We're going to talk about it. How to make friends, how to keep friends, how to go for the long haul in friendships. We're going to go through that in this series. But this first one was just about how valuable I think friends are. I think they're great. I want to pray with you. God, I pray that those who are struggling with friendships, I pray for those who are either lacking in friends or their friends have dropped off in their life. I pray right now, God, you would help us. I pray that you would help us give time, create the space to make new friendships. As scary as it might sound for some and exhilarating for others, I pray, God, that you would help us. Those deep, rich relationships with people that would benefit us, help us grow to be more like the image of Jesus Christ. Help us, God, in that. I thank you for that. Every one of the folks that are watching this, that you would grant that to us. Thank you again. In your name, amen. All right. God bless you. Let me know. Give me some feedback. Make some friends. They are worth it, and they are worth keeping. All right. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.